Shalom, everybody. Shalom. How's everybody day? How's everybody doing? Today we're gonna go into various of things. We're going to plagues in the wilderness. Right. So let's get right into it. Let's go to Second Esdras chapter 15. Right. Verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to a slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. Now, this is in Esdras time right here. Right. Israel in the book of Esdras and the book of Ezra, Israel's allowed to return home. They're allowed to return back to Jerusalem to build the temple, right? So over here, Egypt is long gone, right? So it's speaking about a different land of Egypt, right? More in the spiritual bondage of Egypt, right? So the Lord says that, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, because of Jacob's trouble, right, and destruction's at hand. Right, the destruction is coming, second coming of Christ. Verse 11. Behold, I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. In certain parts of Arabia, right, the Middle East, well, certain part of Northeast Africa, right, Southeast Africa, right, those parts, sometimes it snows, right, and it hails, which destroys the crops, right. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So over here the Most High says that he's bringing that destruction to the world, right? So this right here is going into future prophecy of what's going to come, right, of the second coming. Verse 15, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the curse, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So over here we have a lot of pandemonium, panicking going on, right? People just doing what they're not supposed to do, which is robbing from one another, threatening each other's lives, right? Maybe even taking each other's lives if it's looking like that, right? Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Behold, saith Elohim, I will call together the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, and from the south, and from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. So over here, this is the redemption. The Most High says that these kings right here, they're going to repay the things that they have done to us, right? So let's go into, right, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, because where is this salvation going to be taking place, Where is this salvation going to held at? Right, the Most High says that in the land of the north, this is the place. This is North America. This is the place. So Jeremiah 3:18. In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel. Judah is known as the southern kingdom, which is consists of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is consists of African Americans, which is Judah, right? We got the Benjamins, which is Jamaicans, and we got the Levites, which are Haitians, right? So Mosai says that in those days, right, those three brothers are not gonna be going to war with who? Israel. Now Israel consists of Ephraim, right, which Ephraim is the head of the 10 tribes, which the 10 tribes will be consist of Israel, right, which is the northern kingdom, right, which will be Israel, right, Gad, which is okay. So Ephraim, so Israel is Jacob. So Ephraim 12 sons. So Ephraim will be the so-called Puerto Ricans, right? The Gadites will be so-called Native Americans. Ashers will be Colombians, like around those South Central America, right? That's where a lot of the 10 tribes are mostly held at, right? In captivity, they don't know who they are. They're kind of destroyed, right? Because they don't know who they are. They forgot about themselves, right? They forgot about the Most High and what He told them to do. Remember, because all He said was just to till the land. That's man's. And then you have an obligation, a duty to keep the commandments of God. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. So over here we have the Israelites. This will consist of the Israelites, Judah, right, and Israel. And I just mentioned a few, of the brothers, right? So okay, reading. And they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for inheritance unto to your father. So over here, this is the land of the north, right? This is what you call North America, all right? The North Atlantic Ocean is right near us, right? And then over the other side will be South America. Okay, verse 19. But I said, how shall I put thee among the children and give thee a pleasant land, a goodly heritage of the host of nations? And I said, thou shalt call me my father, and shall not turn away from me. Surely as a wife treacherously departed from her husband, so have ye dealt treacherously with me, O house of Israel, saith Yahweh. So over here we have, Mosai views us as like a wife, right? But we kind of committed adultery towards him when we worshipped other gods and went to other nations, right? To serve their gods, right? So that's like us, doing very bad into the Most High's eyes. That's what He's saying. That's what He's letting us know, right? But more importantly, He's gonna put us back into the heritage that He has given to our fathers, right? And He wants us to call Him Father, so that way we don't have to turn into nobody else but by Him, right? So we're gonna jump down to Jeremiah 23. Verse 7. Jeremiah 23, verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh. The days shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children out of the land of Egypt. So, they're no longer going to be saying that the Most High brought us out of the land of Egypt, which was the house of bondage. Right? Verse 8. But Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed out of the house of Israel, out of the north country, from all countries where they had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. So over here, the Most High says that He's going to bring us back to our homeland, right, from the north country, right, and from all the countries where they had driven them. Now, this goes into what? The curses of Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68. Once you read it, you understand that there's curses led upon these type of people, right? They're going to be led into captivity, right, into all nations, right, and serve their gods and just do abominable works towards the Most High, right? So by them doing that, these curses are going to fall upon them. But there's going to come to a time where these people are going to come and back and return unto Yahweh, right? Return unto Yahweh, right? Return unto the Son, Yahshua, right? And believe in their name, believe that they're going to save us, basically, right? So once again, it says the north country, right? right? But then remember, there's gonna be plagues coming along with this, right? Because there's gonna be plagues coming along with this, right? Where is Jacob's trouble? Okay, so let's go into the book of Hosea. Look, I can't seem to find Hosea. Okay, Hosea chapter 3, verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. So over here, we're going to abide many days without a king, right, and without a prince. Verse 5. Afterwards shall the children of Israel After the children of Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek Yahweh their Elohim, and David their king, and shall fear Yahweh in his goodness in the later days. So these are the later days, right? Over here the Moses says we're going to return back to him, right? We're going to seek him, right? But upon that, we're also going to meet King David along the way, right? We're going to meet King David along the way. So let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So over here, we're going to be saved out of these troubles, right? Out of these plagues, out of these this destruction that's going to come, right? We're going to be saved, alas, right? For that day is great, so that none is like it, right? Even it is even a time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is just like this big giant destruction coming along the way, right? Because we have done perversely, and the Most High's second coming is coming back. But he shall be saved out of it, right? Because you turn back and you sought who? You sought the Lord, right? And you met King David along the way, I'm guessing. Verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh Sabaoth, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. So over here, the Most High said he's going to break that yoke, all right? He's going to redeem us, all right, as a people. We're not going to be destroyed no more, right? Because when you have a yoke on somebody, it's because you have them in, bondage, submission, right? Which you have them in slavery, basically, right? Mosai says that we're gonna that little chain is gonna come off our necks, and we're gonna be free, right? And we should have no more serve. The strangers shall no more serve themselves of him, meaning we are servants to them. So no, they're not gonna no longer look at us as servants or make us feel like we're servants, right? But they shall serve Yahweh their Elohim and David their king, whom I will rise up unto them. So over here, the Mosai says that he's gonna raise up King David, right? Not nobody else. He's gonna raise him up, right? He's gonna raise him up. Verse 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Yasharel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. So over here the Mosai says that none shall make us afraid. We're going to return, right? We're going to be well taken care of. All right, so let's jump down to the book of Hosea, all right, chapter 1, verse 11. Hosea chapter 1, verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. So we shall appoint ourselves one head. Who is that one head? The Mosai said he's going to raise up who? King David. King David is known to be the king of Israel, right? but Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, meaning he is far greater than any other king that has ever been placed, right? So that's our king, right? And he's our friend, right? So over here, we are already getting to a somewhat idea, a format that King David is definitely here, right? And we must find him. Or the Most High says that he's going to raise him up, and we shall seek him and somehow find him, right? So, before the rise of Israel, King David will be appointed, right? Before the rise of Israel, right, King David will be appointed, but what? But we come together first. We make one council and appoint ourselves one head, right? So let's go to the book of Ezekiel. All right, Ezekiel chapter 34. Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 20. Therefore, thus saith Adonai Elohim unto them, behold, I, even I, will judge between the fat cattle and between the lean cattle. So over here, the Most High says he's going to do what? He's going to judge, right? He's going to judge, right? He's going to judge us between the fat cattle and the lean cattle, those who are obedient and those who are disobedient, right? Verse 34. Slack. Keep reading. Verse 21. Because ye have thrust with side and with shoulder, and pushed all the disease with your horns, till ye have scattered them abroad. Therefore will I save my flock, and there shall no more be a prey, and I will judge between cattle and cattle. So over here Moses says that he should once again judge us between cattle and cattle. Verse 23. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them. Even my servant David, he shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. So over here we have David being our shepherd, and he shall feed us the Torah, right? Because that's what it is, right? The Torah is what is fed, right? And then we eat, right? So verse 24, and I, Yahweh, will be their Elohim, and my servant Dawad a prince among them. I, Yahweh, have spoken it. So over here, we're going to prince, right? He's going to be a prince among who? Among us forever, right? So this right here, we have it where? In the north, right? In the wilderness, right? We have it in the wilderness, right? Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 33. Chapter 20, verse 33. As I live, saith Adon Elohim, surely with a mighty hand and with stretched out arm and with fear poured out, I will rule over you, and I will bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand and with stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. So over here, Moses says that I will bring you into the wilderness of the people. So we're going to bring us into the wilderness, right? And he should plead us to face, to do what? To judge among us, from cattle to cattle, from the fat to the lean, you know. Verse 36. Like as I plead with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith Adon Elohim. And I'll cause you to and I'll cause you to pass under the rod, and I'll bring you into the bond of the covenant. So over here, the Most High is judging the cattle, right? And he's letting those who pretty much he wants in to pass under the rod. Verse 38, and I'll purge out from among you the rebels, right? Those who are not those who are disobedient to the law, right? And I'll purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. So those who rebelled against Christ, that He's the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, right? That He's coming back, right? He is the Son of God, right? He did died and He has resurrected, and He's gonna come back to save His people, right? So, right, if you don't believe in that, then you're pretty much a rebel towards that, because that's pretty much, once you understand the scriptures a little bit, that's pretty much what it goes into, right? The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24, it tells you that He didn't came for the world. He came to save the nation of Israel only, which is consists of the 12 tribes, right? You know, verse 38, once again, and I'll purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me, and I'll bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. As for you, O house of Yasharel, thus saith Adon Yahweh, go ye and serve ye every one his idols, and hereafter also he will not hearken unto me, but pollute he my holy name no more with your gifts and with your idols. So over here, right, we have, Moses just, we're not gonna no longer pollute that holy name. Moses is gonna choose us, right? He's gonna save us, right? That is the prophecy that's to come. That is the prophecy that will happen, right? Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, behold, O Mount Seir. Now, Mount Seir is known as what? Mount Seir of the Caucasus Mountains of Russia, right? That's where you found Mount Seir at. So, Mount Seir is Russia, so he's speaking to who? He's speaking to Edomites, speaking to Esau. Verse 3, and I say unto it, Thus saith Yahweh, and behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate, and I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel, by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I liveth, saith Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Saith, thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So over here, Moses is giving straight damnation to Mount Seir, right? To the land of Mount Seir, right? So with that, that lets us know that there's a lot of things happening. Right? There's a lot of things happening during these later days, right? But more importantly, the Most High says that He's gonna bring King David to us, to lead us, right? To lead us, right? He's gonna bring King David to us to lead us and get us out of this captivity. It's like not King David, but Hamashiach. Hamashiach is gonna, do all that, take us out of this land, and bring us into that glorious, glorious land that He promised us, that He has given to our forefathers, the inheritance, the heritage, and all those things we should possess, all those things,